The terrifying cabin in the woods. In the heart of a dense forest, miles away from civilization, a secluded cabin stood tall, listed on Airbnb as a rustic escape from the chaos of daily life. Sarah, a nature enthusiast, couldn't resist the allure of spending a week there to reconnect with the wilderness. Her adventure, however, would take an unsettling turn. Upon arrival, the cabin seemed picturesque, surrounded by towering trees and nestled beside a serene lake. The host, John, had a welcoming smile and offered Sarah a detailed tour of the property. He assured her that she would have complete privacy and left her with the keys. The first few days were idyllic. Sarah explored the woods, fished in the lake, and enjoyed the solitude. But as the sun dipped below the horizon on the fourth night, things took a sinister turn. She had just settled in her bedroom when she heard faint whispers outside the cabin. At first, she dismissed it as the rustling of leaves or the wind, but the voices grew louder and more distinct. Someone, or something, was outside, just beyond her window. Terrified, Sarah switched off the lights and hid in the closet, clutching her phone to call for help. The whispers turned into eerie chants, and she strained to make out the words. They were in a language she couldn't understand, filled with malevolence. Hours passed, and the chanting finally ceased. Sarah dared to peek outside, but saw nothing unusual. The forest was cloaked in darkness. She stayed awake the entire night, fearful of what might happen next. The next morning, she decided to confront John, the host, about the unsettling experience. But when she tried to call him, her phone displayed a message. No signal. Panic set in as she realized she had no means of communication. As the days went by, more strange occurrences transpired. Objects in the cabin moved on their own, and eerie shadows danced on the walls. Sarah's once peaceful retreat had turned into a haunting nightmare. One evening, she ventured into the woods to search for a cell signal. Deep in the forest, she stumbled upon a decaying structure, an old forgotten church. Inside, she discovered disturbing symbols etched onto the walls, resembling the ones she had heard chanted outside her window. Frightened, and with no other option, Sarah decided to leave the cabin and seek help in the nearest town. She gathered her belongings, and with a heavy heart, made her way through the dark woods. After hours of walking, she finally reached civilization, her appearance disheveled and her nerves frayed. She shared her harrowing experience with the local authorities, who were well acquainted with John's cabin. It turned out that John was a recluse with a dark history. He had lured several unsuspecting guests to his cabin, subjecting them to terrifying experiences like Sarah's. The disturbing symbols in the church were linked to a local cult that John was rumored to be associated with. With the police's assistance, Sarah returned to the cabin, only to find it abandoned. John had vanished into the forest, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and chilling memories. Sarah's terrifying encounter in the secluded cabin had left her forever scarred. It was a stark reminder that not all Airbnb listings were what they seemed, and that danger could lurk in the most remote and serene of locations. As she left the forest behind, she couldn't help but wonder what other horrors might be concealed within the depths of the woods, waiting to be discovered by unsuspecting travelers.